being used since World War II to this very day, being in tons of movies and video games. This gun is up there with the most iconic guns ever. I am talking about the M2 Browning, also known as the Deuce. The years before and during World War I, people began experimenting with machine guns, something that would hopefully phase out the semi-automatic and bolt-action rifles for something more powerful, faster rate of fire, and more ammo. Planes and tanks were just entering the battlefield, and trying to figure out how to stop a plane or a tank was something that people was trying to figure out. Something a 30-06 from a Springfield or a Browning 1919 would do nothing to a plane or a tank. So they needed something a lot bigger to punch through that armor. The American Expeditionary Force Commanding General John Pershing asked the Army Ordnance Department for a bigger machine gun with a caliber of at least .50 inches or half inch in diameter and a muzzle velocity of 2,700 feet a second. Around July of 1917, a man named of John Moses Browning started to work on his M1917 and rechambering it for a much larger round. Winchester would take the 30-06 and make a scaled up version, adding a rim to the cartridge. Winchester added a rim because they wanted it in a anti-tank configuration, but Pershing refused and wanted it in a machine gun. The first 50 caliber machine gun went under testing in October 15th of 1918. It fired less than 500 rounds and only had a muzzle velocity of 2,300 feet a second. The gun was too heavy, it was hard to control, and it fired too slowly for the anti-personnel role. Plus, it also lacked the punching power that they wanted in plane and tank armor. While the 50 cal cartridge was being developed, the Mauser 1918 tank revolver was captured along with its ammunition. The 13.2 by 92 millimeter rounds had a muzzle velocity of 2,700 feet a second and a 800 grain bullet. 800 grain bullet meaning the projectile itself. It's not weighing all of this, it's just weighing the projectile itself. That meaning it had plenty of punching power to go through 1-inch armor at 250 yards away. Winchester would improve the 50 cal cartridge to have similar performance to the 13.2 millimeter round, ultimately having a muzzle velocity of 2,750 feet a second. Browning and a gentleman by the name of Fred Moore would ultimately result in the Browning M1921 water-cooled machine gun, along with a anti-air version. They had lightweight barrels and was belt-fed from the left side of the gun. The 50 cals was used experimentally from 1921 to 1937, when service trials raised doubts if they were going to be used in aircraft and anti-aircraft use. Unfortunately, John Browning would pass away at the age of 71 in 1926, leaving S.H. Green to study the design flaws of the M1921. The result would be a single receiver design that could be turned into 7 different types of the gun by using different barrels, jackets, and other components. The new receiver would also allow the gun to be belt-fed from the left or right side. In 1933, Colt would make 2 prototypes of the Browning machine gun, the M1921A1 and the M1921E2. With help from the Navy, Colt would start manufacturing the M2 variant. The M2 variant having a thicker, air-cooled barrel. The added mass and circumference of the heavy barrel would compensate for the loss of water cooling. The water-cooled M2 would weigh in at 121 pounds, while the heavy barrel would weigh in at 84 pounds. Due to heavy firing of the M2, sometimes the barrel would need changing out, but the way it was currently designed made it difficult to do that. With a little bit of design changing, they would fix that issue. The M2 Browning would also have a lightweight variation, having a thinner barrel, weighing in at 60 pounds, and would be used in World War II. This would replace Browning's own 1919 chambered in .30-06. The M2 Browning would be used in aircraft, jeeps, and tanks. The M2 Browning would see little to no design changes since World War II and be used in wars up to this very day. Slinging lead at 450 to 570 rounds per minute, the M2 would be chambered in 12.7 by 99 millimeter, or 50 BMG. U.S. troops would give it the nickname Ma Deuce. Ma meaning mother, and Deuce a shortened term for M2, essentially calling it Mother 2. Gun person or not, you've seen this weapon somewhere. You've probably seen it in a movie, a video game, or a museum somewhere. But you show the picture of this gun to someone, and they will probably not know it by name, but they'll know the gun. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, I've seen that before." They know it's a World War II era gun, and some people may not know that it's still being used to this very day. And I really do doubt that the M2 would be replaced anytime soon, because the 50 cal is a good universal cartridge. Not only can you punch holes in engine blocks with it, but you can also shoot down aircraft with it too. And not only that, I might have to do a video on this sometime soon, you can snipe people with it. Yes, the M82A1 Barrett, which would be a video coming soon. Probably not the next one, but that's definitely going to be another video. I really do doubt the 50 is going to be replaced anytime soon. If you have a gun that you'd like for me to do, please let me know in the comments below. If you have any ideas that I can do to make these videos better, please let me know as well. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time.